Hey guys, welcome to BP, the Bible Perspective. The American legacy of Carolyn Bryant. And what a sad legacy it is. But it also is a good legacy, and I will explain. But before I do, please like and share this video and subscribe to BP, the Bible Perspective. And as always, if you have a thought or comment, add it to the comment section below. All comments are welcome. As I said, this is an American legacy, this story about Carolyn Bryant. Now, who was Carolyn Bryant? And as you can see, the young black man next to her is Emmett Till. I believe most people would recognize this story in this name. May not have all the details. And the reason why I call it an American legacy is because there are those who are feverishly trying to erase the truth of what the American legacy is. You're looking at it in the person of what has kind of always been a white woman who falsely accused a black man, in this case a black boy, and then causing irreparable damage, harm, death. The story starts off in Chicago, where you see Mimi her name, and her son Emmett. She reluctantly agreed to allow him to go down south to Mississippi. They lived in Chicago. And we knew what the dangers of a black anyone, but especially a black man in Mississippi. Mississippi was one of the most dangerous racist states during this time. Now keep in mind, this is 1955, not 1855. I say that because, again, of those who callously try to erase history. They don't want to live with the history. But anyway, I digress. She instructed Emmett of the ways, the evil ways of Mississippi, how white people were. Don't interact with them. Don't talk with them. I'll tell you, the Jim Crow era during this time was American terrorism. It was white terrorism against black Americans. And it was legal. That's the difference. It was legal. There was no recourse, no laws. And against her instincts, she agreed to let Emmett go down and spend time with his relatives in Mississippi. She did instruct him. But he was a young boy. You can even maybe say even a young cocky boy. Prankster. Maybe on a bet or a dare, depending on some of the reports. They end up going to Carolyn Bryant's store. Now, ironically, this store made its money off of black people. That in itself is another story. They serviced black. They sold goods to black people, sharecroppers. Well, Emmett with his cousins and some, I think, neighborhood boys went to the store. The story gets a little sketchy at this point. What we do know is he went into the store and an encounter happened. Now, Carolyn Bryant would later say, now as the story goes, let me back up, but the story, how the story goes is that he might have whistled at her, might have even flirted with her. Certainly not a death sentence, but anyway, she was incensed, insulted that a black boy would do this. When her husband returned from the trip, they paid, these are the two guys here. The one on the left, when you look at the picture on the right, that's Carolyn Bryant and her two boys. And then you can see those are the two men, his brother. She told them that Emmett a 14-year-old, she might have mentioned his name, but she said a black boy whistled at her. Now, these two men, and this is why I'm showing you the picture. Notice the loving family. Well, they don't look so loving there, but the family. Um, these men went and they went over to where Emmett Till was staying with his cousin, barged in at night, drug him out, tortured him, beat him. I mean, they brutalized a 14-year-old boy. Why? Even if it was just, even if the claims were true, later it would be found out she lied. This is how they found his body, the picture in the center. His mother, in a most brave way, said, you know what? She had an open casket. If you went to the funeral home, that's what you saw. That's what you saw. You saw that picture. There's Emmett on the right, but then that's what they did to him. Very brutal, unspeakable things. Now this is Carolyn Bryant on the right in her final days. She passed away a few days ago. But if you kind of just go through and just look at how horrible this story is, that's the funeral after the open casket. What is the legacy, though? Well, the legacy is this. Her lie was the match, the flame to the civil rights movement. So when I said her legacy turned out to be good, let me quote a scripture or paraphrase a scripture. What she meant for evil, God turned around for good. That was the match that sparked the civil rights movement. So from 1955 to 1965, that was the civil rights struggle that we hear so much about. Martin Luther King, the March on Washington. The irony is she lit that match with her evil and with her lies. The sad thing is that she never faced judgment for her part in the legacy, the awful crime. Her husbands and them were acquitted by an all-white jury. Now, why am I saying this? Because when you look at today and how easy it is for police officers to get away, to be acquitted, not even charged, for shooting unarmed black people. And unarmed anyone, but mostly unarmed black people. Has America changed? Well, for the good, yes. There are a lot of people who were abhorred at those actions. And so, yes, America has changed. The laws have changed. And so we won't, in other words, it's illegal to do that, even though you could make the case that a lot of people can operate like police officers under the color of the law. But this, make no doubt, is still the American legacy. All right, guys, that is my perspective. Don't forget to like and share this video and subscribe to BP the Bible Perspective. And as always, if you have a thought or comment, add it to the comments section below. All comments are welcome.